Hi, well today is an exciting day. We're going to put the cover on the Caravan. This is a tricky one. Let's see how we go. So it's in here. We take it out and we roll it next to the Caravan. Prestige at the front. So this is the front. Just basically unfold it, and what we're actually going to do is kind of flow it over. Okay, now we've got it in position. We'll hold this because this is part of the roping which we can actually helps pull it across once we start going past this corner. It's Karen up there, she's just holding that. So now we kind of tuck everything under before we tie it. So I'm going to tuck that one underneath. So I'm just pulling it down underneath. I actually go under the legs too. I use 3 usually. Just combine them and push them up under. Here's the first one. That and that. And all I do is clip. And then pull the tie to tighten it. And that's about the tension. Slide back under further. Grab that one. Grab this one. Connect them, tighten off, and there's their back too. These connect across underneath, so they're pulling and holding the cloth up underneath. Just be careful when you're going in and out from underneath that you don't swing on these, like hang on to the pipes or hang on to the cables. Might give yourself a bit of a shock. There's the hot water here mainly. And these are drains up the front. So these here, it actually gets quite low. As you can see, could connect these and throw it underneath and catch on the other side and connect them, but I actually like tying them up. And it's just putting it through that loop. And tie it. Just tie it off. It doesn't have to be too tight in knot or in cord. It's such an easy method to put on. Particularly if you like lying on your back with the sun in your eyes, but you know, it works. And repeat the process on this side. Again, not too tight, but as you see, this whole thing here is really tucked under. Actually, I guess in our situation, we're kind of fortunate having a wall like that, and I guess most people will somewhere where they place their Caravan. It's so handy because it protects it as well. It stops the wind tucking up under this side. Okay, so that puts the cover on the Caravan. Hi, the next video in our series is taking the Caravan cover off. As you'll see, we've already have it on, and just the view from on top. So now let's take it off. Before we actually do everything, we're probably going to need 2 ladders. I use a tall one and a short. To now begin taking the Caravan cover off, we have to start underneath the Caravan. I use these 2 square mats because they're nice and comfy. And as you notice, there's these clips. And all we have to do is just release them. Squeeze, release. I have to slide up and I just squeeze those together and pop them off. Now the front clip is a little bit different because my driveway is, as I say, on a slope. We actually leave the Caravan low at the front, which means it's very hard to get underneath and put this actual strap on. I've actually attached it to one of the loops down here. So let's have a little look. Underneath here, it's just attached here. So I'm going to release this one, unclip it, push it back through the loop. I'm pretty sure this is not how what they're invented for, but they work really well this way. Okay, that's that one off, and we go around the other side. Now for me this is a little tricky because it's rather cramped conditions, however it's just the old tie on again. This one is actually in a knot, so I'll untie this one. Obviously they work very well because the cover stays on. It hasn't actually blown off yet. There we go, released. The last process we have to do before taking the caravan cover off is to release everything that's kind of trapped or has been deliberately placed underneath in the tuck under stage. I'll just walk around now, untuck and pull up and release everything that is now still underneath. Sometimes you forget it has to go over the handle of the boot, so place it over the handle of the boot. And here, up there, watching those handles as well, down the back. I've got them tucked under the legs, so we have to pull them out from under the legs and behind the tube. So it's raised there, above the leg and above the tube. And now we go up. And up we go. All we do here is we just pull it upwards. So we're going to firstly pull this up, so this bit here on this corner will just sit on the top. Now remembering, if you have left the windows open, if you have left the windows open, don't get this caught on the windows on the side as you come up. Corner one. Now to the front. Same thing. Pull up. It just goes over the edge. Again, making sure it's not caught on windows. Now, if you've done like I have and I forgot to close the windows, check now. This is a critical moment. Oh, look at that. It was under. And that's all it requires, just that. It's now free of that window, free of this window. Obviously we should have closed these first, but there's no problem if you haven't. Now, because everything's been released, underneath, on the sides, on the far side, on the corners, this time when I pull it, the whole thing should actually just fall down. Please. Here we go. You're going, I hope? First half. Now we've just discovered a problem. Well, I have. Me. Okay, the problem is this. I think I mentioned before earlier when we talked about the setup of the whole thing, that we actually open the Four Seasons vents, so the air actually does flow into the caravan. They're still open. Guess what they just caught? Yeah. Fix it up. Well, it's me up here. As guessed, it's caught on the Four Seasons. However, this sort of thing's going to happen, so I'm glad it happened while we're filming, because yes, Karen's just discovered I have a fence next to me. If I wasn't on the fence, I'd be on my step ladder. All I've got to do is just undo this. That's all it is. And now it's totally released. Okay, it's now going to fall, because it should be heavy enough and unfastened enough to go. Here we go. Caravan cover off. Okay, this is where you actually need the second person. You can do it yourself, but it's so much easier with two. We'll have this one. You can even them up in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then this one on top of it actually have our bag here. Obviously that's the size. So we're just doing this quickly because the rain's coming and whether or not we've got to get it out. Halfway.